They call me Dan, the Lakers fan. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jack.
What's up, everybody? Welcome, man. Welcome back to the channel. Man, you guys been DMing me, asking me to go live today because of the news that's coming out with the Lakers. And very, obviously, there's a lot of stuff coming out. Some people very unhappy with Rob Pelinka. We're going to talk about what's going on with him, his thought process, and all of that good stuff, and what to expect moving forward. I wasn't home today. I went shopping. My nephew's birthday is today, so happy birthday to Xavier, just in case he watches this video. Went shopping for him today and all that good stuff. He's going to come visit over the week. And so I wasn't home today, but I got tons of requests that I should go live, and rightfully so. You guys have every right to be upset with Rob Pelinka. I get it. This guy doesn't move at a turtle's pace. He moves at a snail's pace, and we're going to address that and all that good stuff. But how you guys doing? Good to see you, Kimmy Goat. Nate, good to see you all. Mario, he said, Dan, I know your channel is not related to any political, but you are the voice of our community. God bless you, hermano. Mario, thank you, brother. And by the way, my podcast has officially commenced. I'll be dropping daily. Well, not daily, but whenever there's controversial topics, my morning podcast is going to be on my second channel, Primetime TV. So tap in, man, if you want to hear about all this stuff. Because, yeah, we definitely need to be, we need to have our voice heard as a community. And not only am I a voice for you guys, but you guys also go back and forth with me. So I appreciate you guys. And much love, Raza. Much love. Thank you, Kimmy Go. Appreciate that. All right, let's talk about Robbie P. Hey, thank you, Laker girl. Appreciate that. I'll let him know for sure when I see him. All right. So there's reports that the Lakers are currently working on a consolidation trade, right? Basically stuff to get the roster right. But I want to talk about what is going on with Rob Pelinka, some of his controversial comments and what happened. For those of you, just in case you've been tuned out this entire offseason, I'm going to run down why everybody, including myself, is disappointed and some even upset with Robbie P, all right? So we came into the offseason. The first thing Rob Pelinka says that they are very active. My source tells me the same thing. They're very active, and maybe that's true. Maybe they were active. When we start the free agency day one, we do a signing, right? Jake LaRavia is the signing. Appreciate you, Tony. Jake LaRavia is the first signing, even though clearly we need a big man. I get it. We already had the big man in the bag. It ends up being DeAndre Ayton. By the way, Thero Adu just signed today's his rookie scale contract, 3-year deal. Same thing with the other free agents, DeAndre Ayton and Jake LaRavia, all inked today officially, right? But the reason fans are upset over Pelinka's decision to re-sign center Jaxson Hayes is that it was a 1-year, $3.45 million deal, which is above the minimum veteran salary, right? Many, including myself, expected Hayes, who played limited minutes last season and less than 10 per playoff game, and struggled in the first round to either be signed for the minimum or my favorite, which was to let him go and go in a different direction, right? But this move they did consumed valuable cap space, and it limits access to the 5.1 biannual exception due to the first apron rules, right? So of course people were upset. And on top of that, we had caught wind of a no trade clause that he had inherited for being with us in 3 1-year deals, right? So I do have good news about that. Reported per The Athletic, per Dan Wilkie, right? Jaxson Hayes waived his implicit no trade clause to re-sign with the Lakers. So yes, he did we overpaid a little bit, but he waived the no trade clause. So that's good news, because if we ever wanted to move him for whatever reason, then we can, right? Very tradable $3 million contract. That's the good news. But the bad news is he hasn't done much else, right? All this talk of activity. We are now officially July 7th. Appreciate you, diehard. Thank you, bro. It's officially now July 7th, and the Lakers are sitting on those 3 moves, which one significant one is obviously the big man we acquired, DeAndre Ayton. That's the most significant one, right? But for me, I think the biggest reason is Pelinka has been criticized for not acting swiftly enough in free agency, missing out on coveted centers or backup centers like Brook Lopez, right? And meanwhile, giving extra salary to Jaxson Hayes. Stuff like that really pisses fans off, because we've been struggling from the center position for years. And for years, we've been getting promises of of bolstering up the team, or bolstering up the team. I guess people want me to say bolstering now. Bolstering up the roster. Every summer, last trade deadline we had a trade, right, for Mark Williams, and we end up rescinding it because of the health concerns, which I'm fine with. You're supposed to hit the offseason. Fans expected us to hit the ground running. And then, fans and analysts, we've all voiced our concerns over Pelinka's overall strategy, man. Well, like, what is he really doing? The title of this video is, what is Rob Pelinka up to, right? He came out and said that their number one concern was already addressed, which is DeAndre Ayton. While we still lack a bench, we still lack somewhat wing depth. I do like some of the guys there, but we lost DFS. That's going to be something, right? We haven't replenished that unless Jake LaRavia ends up improving defensively, right? And he's just been ineffective for the last couple of years. I gave you guys a track record the other night on, his lack of moves, and I think fans are very frustrated with that, and as you should be, despite acquiring DeAndre Ayton, who has a tremendous amount of potential at the starting center position, right? Jake LaRavia, who has got potential, but he's only 23, but still potential doesn't always translate, right? We remain skeptical as a fan base about whether these moves adequately address the team's needs, guys. Particularly, like I mentioned already, losing out on the very versatile 6'8" defensive wing in DFS, right? Replacing him with a smaller, less proven player, right? Like Jake LaRavia is not going to make us happy. And then we've done absolutely nothing as of right now. Still, you have a lot of free agency left. Still a lot of free agents. We're hearing the Bradley Beal rumors. He might get bought out soon. Still hasn't happened, right? But we're going to inquire. But inquiry doesn't guarantee you get the player, right? We lack depth off the bench, all right? We have high expectations for this storied franchise. The Lakers, we're storied. We have all this history. We're a very passionate fan base. We wanted to see moves. Meanwhile, the Nuggets came out here like bandits, right? The Rockets had the best offseason along with the Atlanta Hawks. Like that's not cool. That's not cool. We expect more. We do. And whether it's an unfair expectation or not, you knew what the job was when you took it. Appreciate you, Kimmy Go. Thank you. We knew what the job was. You knew what the job was when you took it. It's always going to be high expectations, right? Well, that might be too, Reg Dog TV, but one thing, Laker fans are not going to sit here and say, it's okay, Rob, don't do nothing until LeBron leaves. That's not how we feel. We always want to be competitive. And, yeah, we've put our trust in Rob, and I still believe he can make something happen, but day by day, I lose more faith in him. It's been like that since the 2020 championship. He said we weren't going to settle for one championship. He made that promise. He hasn't fulfilled it yet. We haven't repeated or even came close. The closest we came was Western Conference appearance, swept, right? So it's not acceptable. We should have hit the ground running this offseason, and even though we got one of the main pieces we were looking for in DeAndre Ayton, we still got other things to address, period, right? So hopefully we continue to do that. I'm still hopeful, right? I'm not going to hold my breath for it, but I'm hopeful. Solo, what's up, brother? He said, a lot of wasted picks and bad trades. We have little in assets now, especially when the Lakers tax exists. The Laker tax. That is another real thing. It's real, but it's always been there, right? It didn't magically happen when Rob Pelinka took the front office. No. Laker tax has been there forever, man. It took us forever to and then when we finally do pull off a trade, they get mad at us. Just like when we traded for Pau Gasol, even though we gave up a multi-time All-Star in Marc Gasol, a young prospect, and even though it didn't turn out well, obviously, Javaris Crittenton, and an expiring contract in Kwame Brown and draft picks. So it's not like we didn't pay a premium for him. It's just that when the Lakers make a trade, everybody cries about it. Meanwhile, you got the Clippers today. They make a very under-the-radar move where they move Norman Powell and they get John Collins back, right? The Jazz also received Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson, and a second-round pick. Yet from the Lakers, the Jazz, for a lesser player that averages less stats, even though he has better potential, but still, than John Collins, they're asking for multiple first-round picks and young talent. You see my point? So the Laker tax is there. For sure, we knew that. But Rob knows that. Man, he been known that since he took this job over, right? Now, it's rumored that Rob Pelinka is going to pursue a trade to make this team deeper. I don't know what that consists of or what. Again, they have kept everything extremely quiet, right, on their end. But we could use another 3-and-D player. We could use an actual backup big man because let's be honest, DeAndre Ayton hasn't had the best of injury history. There's a chance he can get hurt, and then there's a chance he gets hurt, and then you got Jaxson Hayes again. Who wants to sign up? Show of hands. Who wants to sign up for another year of starting Jaxson Hayes? Because not me, damn it. Unless this guy found a magical bean or something that makes him stronger and smarter and he doesn't bite on all the up fakes, I don't want him starting. I don't even want him off the bench, if I'm being honest. I want him as a third stringer maximum. Yes, he can catch lobs, and he can once in a while block a shot or two from the weak side. What else can he do? Can he rebound? Nope. He averages less than what? Less than 7 rebounds per game? Not good enough, right? Can he pass the ball well? Nope. Can he put the ball on the floor? Nope. Does he have a soft touch around the rim? Nope. So really, he's a dunker and a part-time shot blocker. That's not good enough. Right? We need somebody who's going to come in here and do some dirty work for us. We've talked about names before, right? So we need to do that, man. Also, I do like the fact that we're starting to hire assistant coaches to develop young talent like Adu Theoro, right? Like, I like that, right? And I do like that, we're taking care of business now. We inked the contracts today. Everybody around the league started inking their contracts. The moratorium period has ended. So, again, Theoro signed for a 3-year deal worth $5.9 million, right? $5.95 million. Jake LaRavia, we signed him. All that's good. Now we have about $3 million, a little over that. But if we want to unlock the full biannual exception, we might have to trade somebody. Who do we get traded? Right? Rumor has it we're looking to offload some roster spots. Who do we have in mind? Right? I think we need multiple players, man. Not just Bradley Beal or Chris Paul. A combo guard would be nice off the bench. We need more than that. We need a backup center, and we could use another 3-and-D wing or a 3-and-D guard at least, right? I want to know what you guys think, though. This is just my opinion, man. I don't know what Rob is plotting, but I'm looking forward to it. We're waiting, right? I think Rob has to improve his communication and transparency with the fans. I know he likes to keep everything on the low, but when we've been waiting for years to have a well-rounded roster, it becomes really exasperating to keep waiting, right? He could address the fan frustration, be more transparent about his strategy because we don't know, right? For all we know, this could be Rob's last hoorah, and he knows it. And, he's not, going to do anything else. He doesn't want to jeopardize anything. Or maybe they're not letting him make trades no more because the future is heading in a different direction. What do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think for sure. All right, Reg Dog says trade Austin, Rui, and Vincent. For who, though? We got to have names there. We got to have names in return, and it has to be worth it. I'm not trading Austin or Rui just for nothing, just to offload contracts. No. But if we get some good names in return, then, yeah, we'll consider it. Solo says, I don't think it matters what we do this season. We won't have enough to make a deep run anyway. I mean, we can't just have that mindset, though. The fans can. That's fine. Fans can think whatever. But if you're the front office, you cannot have mail-it-in seasons. If Luca caught wind of the front office thinking this way, he would not want to sign a long-term extension. He wants to win now. I promise you that. Shea won at 27. Guess who wants to win at 27 too? Luca. That's who. He wants his legacy to be big. He wants it to grow and get better. So if we got to have a superstar like that, you have to build around him. You owe it to him. And to do that immediately, not to have a throwaway year, right? That's probably why LeBron wants to leave. Can you blame him? I can't blame him if that's the mindset that the front office has. The fans don't even want that mindset. We don't have a sore loser, second place mentality where it's like, oh, yeah, let's just mail it in 1 year and see how we come back with more cap next year. No, you got to maximize Luka every year now. This is Luka's team now. Show it, right? We want Luka to sign that extension in August. If I'm Luka's agent, I'm like, lay out your plan, Rob, and let's start seeing the action, the fruits of your labor right now. Right now that we're in July. You got the big man. Okay, rumor has it, and I told you guys this before the rumor even came out. I feel like Luka had a lot to do with DeAndre Ayton. I feel like he recruited him. Same agent. That's exactly what happened. We get the reports now. They wanted to play together. This is Luka's team. Nowhere does it say LeBron wanted to play with DeAndre Ayton. So if it's Luka's team, okay, we got a starting caliber center. Now let's go get some backup. Let's go get a big man who's proven, who can do the dirty work and doesn't need the ball in his hands to be impactful. And is not going to foul out either. Let's go do that right now. Right? If you're the Lakers, you have to think like that. You cannot think, oh, let's mail it in this year. LeBron retires or he goes to another team. We have all this cap space now. We have all this flexibility. We'll go get that co-star in 2027, 28. Can't think like that. Nothing is guaranteed. We've had, how many times did the younger Bus family brothers say they were waiting for a free agent like Carmelo or like LaMarcus Aldridge, and they didn't even get a meeting when the time came? You cannot. You have to be an established team at all times, especially here in LA. Otherwise, they're going to think something's wrong and they don't want to come here. All right. So, again, Rob Pelinka has to be more transparent and he has to be more active. All right. It's all right if he's taking calls and all that, but, we need to see action. We're all about that action now, right? But we see trades happening. The Clippers always making moves. Not that it makes them any better, but, I actually think this is a huge loss to lose Norman Powell. However, they did get a nice front court duo now with John Collins and Zubac. So that was an interesting trade. But I've always find it interesting that, the Utah Jazz want two first-round picks for Walker Kessler and a young player, and then they turn around and trade John Collins for second-round picks and a decent player. It confuses me, really. It confuses me. And I don't know what it is, but I don't like it one bit, right? So let's hope that, one day the Lakers will get a fair shake in a deal to the point where we can turn around and get the right pieces that we need, the remaining pieces, right? All right, I'll take a couple comments. Let's see what you guys got to say. Is that the new ownership isn't going to let Rob trade away assets? They want to build for the future. I can definitely see that. And I was thinking that, this is why I mentioned it earlier. Maybe his hands are tied, or maybe Rob's just afraid. Maybe they told him, hey, man, one more bad move and you're done. And then maybe that's why he's afraid. I don't know. But I don't like it. I don't like operating. Listen, scared money doesn't make money. If you want to win a championship, you got to take risks. And there's educated risks. They don't have to be stupid risks like the Russell Westbrook one. There's educated risk where you can look at fit times composure times, you just got to put the right combination together. Jojo, what up, Jojo? Says, my worry is that the Mavericks, we need Luca at war with Nico to prove him wrong. You know what? I can't wait. Every game where the Lakers play the Mavericks is going to be an interesting one from here on out for the rest of Luka's career. We saw what a masterclass he had when he went back over there. And I think he'll always be motivated. Can you imagine a Lakers versus Mavericks first round playoff matchup or second round or anything? That would be special. But I'm more worried about the rest of the league than an individual matchup. I want to see us be able to match up against anybody. People are saying, well, Dan, it was a poor matchup. That's why Jaxson Hayes struggled. We don't want a player that's going to need a perfect matchup for him to produce. We want a player that's going to be able to produce on every given night. And once in a while, he'll have a bad night because he's human. But for the most part, he will at least give effort, high basketball IQ, and energy. And Jaxson Hayes is not that. Jaxson Hayes gets in foul trouble. He bites on every up fake. And sometimes he's not out there. If he's not catching lobs or blocking shots, it's like he's not on the floor. And I don't like that, especially come playoff time. We need something more stable than that, personally. Reg Dog says, how has he sabotaged the Lakers since LeBron has been there? He gets anything he wants, even his kid. You guys are insane. Wait, are you talking to me? I'm not pro LeBron. I'm pro Lakers. I'm making a case for the Lakers. I'm not I know Reg Dog's not talking to me. He's talking to somebody else, but I'm making the case for Laker fans. We deserve to have a competitive roster every year, at the very least, right? We should go for Sabonis. Sabonis would be great. Reports have it that they're not looking to trade him, unfortunately, Jules. Yeah, so, that's the unfortunate thing. But he would have been a great option. Not my favorite kind of player, I like powerful, strong, athletic bigs but it's a rare combination who can space the floor. It's rarely out there, but that's what I like, right? Finesse is cool, but we already have plenty of finesse players. We got Austin Reeves. We got Luca. I don't think I want to add a third finesse player. We're going to be known as a soft squad, and we don't want that. Cam Whitmore, John Collins adds depth to the bench. Bruh, Cam Whitmore would have been great. He's a Wizard. John Collins is a Clipper. He doesn't exist to me anymore. As soon as you put on that Clipper jersey, he don't exist to me. Even though it's not his fault, but hey, that's just the way it goes. OC boy, what up, man? Nick Richards as a backup. There's a name we've been hearing all summer long. I don't know if the Suns want to help us out, man. They see the Lakers. Yes, we got a big man, but we need another one. They know that. They're going to try to pay charges of premium to get one, right? If we lose Melton and Beal, I am done with Rob. And it's very, very possible that could happen, Alex. It's possible that the Lakers get neither. I'd settle for a Chris Paul. Heck, a Lonnie Walker. Split the biennial exception between Lonnie and another good role player. Cut Shake Milton and trade away, the dead weight. I want Gabe Vincent off this team. I want him off. He was good in the regular season spurts, especially towards the end of the year, and completely disappeared and proved to be unplayable in the playoffs. We waited a whole year for this man to get healthy, only for him to do that. I'm good, man. We've been very patient with guards like him, Kendrick Nunn. Man, I'm done with guards like that. Go give me some size. Go give me, at least if we're going to get a guard, let it be a 3-and-D like DeAnthony Melton. Get rid of Gabe. He lost my trust in one playoff run. That's all I needed. Gabe was tremendous for the Miami Heat and then proved that the bright lights were too bright for him in LA. And nobody can tell me otherwise because he was healthy this time. There's no more excuses. Solo. Sad thing is the Mavs might look better than us. Hopefully we see improvements from our guys and Ayton actually becomes someone we can rely on. That would be sad. If the Mavs have a better season than us, that would be really sad. But I just don't think Luca will allow that. I think Luca's about to have a monumental season. He's been hearing all the talking heads, all the sports radio personalities, the TV personalities calling him overweight, saying he doesn't have discipline. That's enough to fire any competitor up. And one thing we know about Luca, he's a competitor, right? He just needed to get in shape. And I think this trade in this summer, he's doing it. It was enough motivation, He wanted to retire in Dallas initially. And then they didn't like his habit. So he's got a lot to prove. Luca does. He needs to get in shape, needs to improve his defense and his work habits. And if he does that, he'll be the best player in the league. I said it when we traded for him. I think this year will be his year where he has his MVP season. Don't be surprised he's averaging 34 points with 8 rebounds and 8 assists efficiently, right? And leading us to a top 2 seed in the West. That would be amazing. But we do need the horses. We need the pieces around him to help him get there because he can't lead us to a top 2 by himself or just him and LeBron and Austin. It's not going to be enough. We're going to need Rui to step up. We're going to need DeAndre Ayton to have a career year. I'm talking 17 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks. That would be my target number for him. Give me that. Playing alongside Luca, you're going to catch at least 2 to 3 lobs per game as long as you do the right thing. Screen and roll, pick and pop. Do little things to get yourself open. You'll get it, right? He'll reward you. So that's what I want to see from Ayton. I'm hoping for 17 and 10. I will settle for 15 and 8. Anything less than that, I'll be a bit disappointed because he's capable of that. Hey, Dan, I heard a source that Horford might want to go to Denver or the Warriors or retirement. If he goes to Denver, that's scary. It is. People don't understand the value of having a champion veteran like Horford, right? To back you up, not even to start, right? He said, I heard Chris Middleton may be bought out. How much does he have left? Right? How much does he have left? By the way, that's a hilarious name. I like your AV name. He said the Black Trevor Lane. I like it. My boy Trevor Lane, man. He got some cool ass followers. He said, you must want Luca back with the Mavs. That hurt, huh? Well, me? Absolutely not. I love Luca. I want him to be a Laker forever. I hope you're not talking to me, Roy, because there's nothing I said that wants Luca back with the Mavs at all. Pelinka needs to add some real NBA starters to the team. Well, okay. Starters. You got Luca, you got LeBron, you got Ayton. The rest are questionable. I've always wanted Austin off the bench, especially after we got Luca, right? Just because it'll help us. It'll give us a spark. It'll give us more parity, I think, in the starting lineup and bench. And it'll add a primary ball handler who's a primary scoring option, who brings a lot of attention and will get wide open shots for other bench players, right? Guys like, I think, can you imagine Dalton and Austin coming off the bench? That'd be nice. So we have 3 that we can rely on for sure. Luca, LeBron, and Ayton. Out of those, LeBron's going to be a part-time defender, though, because he's older. He's going to be 41. He's going to be a part-time defender. Part-time. Luca, if he gets in shape and he buys in, I think he can also be a part-time good defender. Part-time, though, not full-time. And then Ayton is the one we're going to have to rely on. Hopefully his motor improves. There's always been questions about that. But he can be somewhat of an anchor down low. And we don't have a lockdown defender outside of Vando right now. DFS was that guy. Now he's gone. It feels like we need another lockdown defender. Who's that going to be? Like a Caruso type? D'Anthony Melton could be him. Is it going to be 100% healthy once he's coming off of injuries? We'll see. We'll see. But again, a lot of question marks on this team. What is Rob doing? We're going to figure that out. If Rob does nothing, one of 2 things. Either he knows he's going to get canned or he's too scared. Scared money don't make money. And he needs to get canned if that's the case. We still need dogs on this team. I haven't seen any added yet. Oh, man, you might be right about that. And like I said, we need some more defensive identity players. You got Vando, right? LeBron was probably our best defender in the playoffs. Vando didn't get PT. Neither did Jordan Goodwin. I think Jordan Goodwin's a good defensive motor guy during the regular season. It didn't translate to the playoffs because coach's staff didn't trust him, right? So we could use some more high-end defensive energy guys for sure, right? Now, again, guys, free agency, there's still some players there for the Lakers. You got Al Horford. He is 39, but as a backup option, it would be wonderful. Anthony Melton, 27-year-old guard, right? Who's an outstanding defender, career 37% three-point shooter when he's healthy. And despite having a season-ending partial ACL tear last year, his defensive versatility and backcourt depth, make him a great potential target and complement to Luka Doncic. I get that. That'd be great. There is competition for him, right? Competition to get him, for sure. Damian Lillard is still out there. Not going to help us defensively, but he did average 24 points a game, right? Last year when he was healthy. If he can get healthy, bring that off the bench, and now you're a juggernaut. Chris Paul, who just announced this was going to be his final season, right? He only averaged 6.7 points per game, 2.8 assists last year. But, again, him off the second unit would be tremendous on the Lakers. And I'm not a Chris Paul fan. I'm just being an honest Laker fan, right? Kuminga, still a restricted free agent. They're still trying to figure out where the ship is at. Maybe that's what's holding up all the free agent signings. Same thing with Josh Giddey, restricted. But, hey, we know he don't like to score more than 14, so we definitely don't want Josh Giddey around here. Hide your kids, hide your wife. Okay, Russell Westbrook, nobody cares, right? Chris Boucher, forward, unrestricted, 10 points per game, 36% shooter from beyond the arc. Would be a solid backup. I prefer him over Jaxson Hayes. Kevon Looney already signed, right? But guys like that would have been great for the Lakers. Gary Trent Jr., Malcolm Brogdon is still out there, and he's a very solid backup guard with playmaking and defensive skills. He's had injury history in the last couple of years, but he's super effective when he's healthy, right? Again, there's still a lot of notable names out there up for grabs, and Rob Pelinka can't be sitting on his hands right now. He cannot. He cannot be sitting on his hands. We're getting tired of that, man. Do something, Rob. Laker fans want you to do something. Forget about what LeBron wants. Laker fans want you to do something at this point. We don't want to run it. Look, we don't want to run it back and then lose in the first or second round just because we made minor improvements. We want major improvements. We want those holes to be plugged, right? Appreciate you, Kimmy Goat. Brayden is a hey Dan. Rob needs a 3-and-D big shooting guard or wing, Max Christie type, and a backup center. And we will be competing with the top of the West, Austin for 6-man, aka Mono. Love it, bro. Thank you so much for super chat. Absolutely. Here's my problem. It's clear as day what the Lakers need, and I've always felt like it's been clear as day. But Rob always makes an excuse to why he didn't get it. Why? You remember that year when he was getting none but 6-foot guards on the roster, and we had a bunch of 6-foot guards, and we knew the roster was flawed. And people were like, "Oh, relax. Let's see. Let's go into the season, see how it goes." We have Pat Bev. I forgot what other 6-foot guard. We were struggling all year long because we were undersized. We knew that. The fans knew it. Just like Brayden shot the Bray. Just like Brayden said, what we need. We know that. And I think Rob Pelinka knows. So what's holding him back? Is it the fact that he doesn't have a great relationship with other front office? Is it the fact that they're jealous? Doesn't matter what's holding him back. Get it done. Figure out a way. Laker fans don't care about your reasons. We don't want to hear your excuses. We want results. If you can't get it done, we'll go hire somebody who can. It's that simple. If you can't get your job done, then we'll hire somebody who can. Appreciate you, Bray. Thank you so much, man. Sharon says, who believes this team is what LeBron wanted before Luca? This is Rob's team, nobody else's. Well, essentially, it's not going to be his for much longer if he keeps this up, Sharon. But I see what you mean. As far as whose team it is, it's got to be Luka's moving forward. If we want him to commit here long term, we got to do what he wants. Just like we did with LeBron wanted when he first got here. Genie was, accommodating him. We gutted our team. We went and go get, Anthony Davis, and we got the veterans. We got Rondo. We got all these guys. You listen to your stars, you get championship. You don't listen to your stars, you get the stars winning the league, just like LeBron is right now. And we damn sure don't want that for Luka, because then the pitchforks will come out. We don't want that. We don't want them sitting on their hands and then all of a sudden Luka decides to opt out and become an unrestricted free agent. That would be doomsday scenario. Best case scenario, Lakers make another move. We shore up the front court, with a backup, and we get a bench. And now we look really competitive. Luka signs that 3 to 4 year deal, and we're good to go. That's what all Lakers want. We're not asking for Giannis. Laker fans aren't sitting. I mean, it'd be nice if we could get him, but Laker fans aren't sitting here holding our breath for Giannis. Right? We're not asking for that. We're asking for role players who can play their role around those superstars. Simple as that. You know? Luca wants to be in LA for the long because of Rob? It's because of the Lakers, man. It's not because of Rob. Notice how he thanked Jeannie Buss and the new ownership. He didn't mention Robbie P, right, in his tweet. He wants to be here because of the Lakers brand, the history, the fact that we wanted him, even though he didn't know he wanted us yet. But we wanted him. We went out and grabbed him a big man. We didn't even do that for AD. So we're showing him loyalty right off the rip. But we need to show him that we can compete for years, man. We're in trouble in the West because the Thunder are there. We saw what the Rockets just did. They were already a problem last year. I told you guys they weren't serious last year, but I told you they're one superstar away, and they got it. Now they're a true contender, assuming they stay healthy, assuming they click, because all that matters. Chemistry matters. What if KD goes over there and he's all toxic, tweeting shit and all that, right? So it could go south quick with a polarizing player like Kevin Durant. But on paper, they look good, right? They look great. My guy D-Free said, Pat, Bev, Nunn, Westbrook, AR, Shooter, Lonnie Walker, all on the roster. AR was the biggest one there. Yes, Ham played 5-guard lineup with AR at center. Oh, man, what a freaking nightmare you just reminded me of, D-Free. And that's what I'm saying. We're not asking for a lot. We're asking for common sense moves at this point. Yes, we should be prioritizing Al Horford. Yes, we should be prioritizing Bradley Beal and Chris Paul off the bench. But if we don't get them, go make a trade and go get a Nick Richards off the bench. Go get somebody else, right? Be a trade. By the way, let's monitor this because for years I've been asking for Marcus Smart. There's a rumor that he may or may not get bought out during the season. I would love Marcus Smart on this team. All right, 31 years of age, ready to contribute, veteran. If he can stay healthy, he can make a maximum impact for the veteran minimum, you know? Man, no one is going to give you a Ferrari for a couple of Nissan Sentras. We don't have Nissan Sentras, AAA. Pay attention to what we have on the roster. We got a 20-6 guy in Austin Reeves. Very tradable. We got Rui Hachimura, who's averaging 13 and 5 and then went off in the playoffs. Very tradable. We have a first-round pick that's probably going to be here. It's probably going to be available when LeBron, and God knows if Luca, God forbid if Luca's gone. But once LeBron is gone, it's going to be available. We could end up being a lottery team that year. Very worthy. We got pick swaps we can trade. Very worthy. We can have expiring contracts. So, again, for those of you that are making comments like this, check your facts. Go look at the roster. Go look at the assets we have. We have plenty of them. There's no more excuses for Robbie P, right? And, you know, all these Robbie P apologists, guys, we have been sitting here since 2017, 2018, and won championship to show for it with Hall of Fame talent, the level of LeBron James, who's still playing at the prime of his career, end of the prime, but still averaging 25 and 7. Anthony Davis, and now Luca. That's 3 Hall of Famers. I'm not going to count Russell Westbrook, but that's 3 Hall of Famers right there. And we only have one championship between 7 to 8 years to show for that. That is a failure, especially by Lakers standards. Maybe in Cleveland, Ohio, maybe in New York, that would be a major dub because they haven't had a championship forever, right? But not in LA. In LA, one championship in 8 years between 3 Hall of Famers, that means you failed to put the right pieces around them, period. No matter how we twist it. You can twist it all you want and make these little cute little analogies. Nissan Sentra for Ferrari. Nobody's asking for Giannis. If we get Giannis, so be it. We're not asking for that shit. We're asking for decent role players that complement our stars. And for the insurance policies, a backer for DeAndre and some bench. We're not asking for the stars in the moon. Let's not sit here and act like we don't have nothing to trade. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry. D-Free said the report was that the Jazz wanted Ruby in a first-round pick for John Collins. Yeah, John Collins moved today as a filler and a second. I'm saying, bro, the Clippers make off like bandits again. Yes, they gave up an all-star level talent. He barely made the all-star team. It wasn't like he's a career, lifelong all-star, man. And a lot of it is situational because Paul George left, so he took more shots. The volume was there. Talk to him, Reg Dog. Talk to him, Reg Dog. We have assets here, man. Come on now. Let's see. The Lakers need better role players. Exactly. Now we're on the same page. Sleepy Rob. I don't know what he's doing, bro. Ben Simmons, he's available. Do I want somebody that fragile on this team? I don't know, bro. You know, it might be a tie ball game, or we might be down 1 and he's attacking the rim with nobody guarding him. He might pass out of a layup. Do I really want that on my team? I don't know. I don't know if I want that on my team. Game on the line. Ben Simmons is the only one that's not double teamed or even covered, wide open for a little, 10-foot little floater or something. And bro passes out and turns it over into the half court. Do I really want that on my team? We got to think about it here. Yes, he's a great defender. He's still got potential. Maybe LeBron. Maybe LeBron could take him under his wing and pull the most out of him. I don't think LeBron's interested in that. He's got his own son to teach. If he is, hey, so be it, man. So be it, right? But, again, I wish the kid the best. Is that the type of player we should be targeting when we already have Vando? Vando, I don't know if you guys paid attention. The last couple of years when we were in the playoffs, Vando was a liability sometimes because they would leave him wide open either for the three or they would give him a lane to attack the basket, and he would either blow the layup or not even shoot it and look to pass and turn it over because he's scared. He doesn't have an offensive game. You can't. Even if you don't have an offensive game, you have to always be aggressive, right? A la P.J. Tucker, a la Tony Allen. Like those players. They didn't really have offensive games, but they used, like Tony used his athleticism. P.J. Tucker, he would just pick a spot in the corner. Right? For years, we've been asking my guy Vando, hey, man, just learn a corner three. Do something, right? That way you can stay on the court because his defense is amazing. When healthy, he is a top 10 defender in this league. You cannot name me 10 defenders that are better than Vando in this league at his position. You can't. He guards 1 through 5 even sometimes, the small ball fives. And he can. We've seen him shut down players like Curry, even Luca when he was in Dallas. There's not a lot of players that have that ability, but he's been hurt. He hasn't improved offensively, even though, what is he, 26 now? He hasn't improved in a lot of different areas, and that's discouraging. If that's the case, then you trade out of his contract to a team that values it, and then you go out and you grab a Darius Baisley, who's looking like a poor man's Vando in summer league. Also can't shoot. Also can't attack. Well, he can attack the rim probably better than Vando, but probably not as good as a defender, but better as slasher. Like you have options if you're the Lakers. You have to get really creative, and this is why you get paid the big bucks. You hire me in the front office, I'm not going to operate from a position of fear of losing my job. I'm going to operate from a position of if I make the right moves, we're going to elevate the team, and I'm going to be known as a genius. You got to come out here, man, swinging. You can't look. We've been sitting back for the last couple of years, and finally you got the Luca blockbuster, but you don't have nothing to follow that up with, even till now. He said, Rob Pelinka said, and he keeps pushing the timeline. He said, "Oh yeah, we're going to address that in the offseason because right now we didn't have enough time." Okay, you got Ayton. You got lucky that Ayton got bought out, but now you need a backup. All right, let's get it done, man. It's that simple. What is Rob doing? He better be getting to work right now. He better not be at Disneyland. Horford and Melton would be a good start. Bro, Horford and Melton would round out this roster nicely, and you would hear no complaints from me. Heck, give me Horford, and then we'll figure out the rest from there. You get an A+ if you get Horford. A+ if you get Horford with Ayton, and the rest we can figure out. All right, if we still don't have the super defensive wing, and you still don't have the bench depth, but you move Austin to the bench, all of a sudden Dalton looks better because you got a playmaker next to him. The white boy connection right there off the bench would be killer. I'd love to see it, man. And maybe Dalton could use playing alongside, somebody like him who plays with confidence. I think Austin and Dalton should lock themselves up in a court somewhere in a gym and go to work all summer long. But honestly, right now, Dalton does concern me because his confidence is very low. Very, very low. Hey, Katrina, she said, "Hi, Dan, love the new Screens Purple Royalty." Yeah, again, shout out to my guy, man. My guy has been helping me all summer long with these thumbnails. Well, ever since free agency started. So again, shout out to my guy, Retro Actual. That's my guy, man. And he offered it himself, so I really appreciate it, man. Same script every offseason. That's what I'm saying, Titanic. There's no more excuses for Rob. Look, Laker fans want transparency, right? Again, he can address the frustration, right? Like, come on now. We're going to be mad. We're going to be mad because he's not transparent about his strategies, and he's coming up short every offseason. The last 2 to 3 off seasons have been very, very mid. Very, right? And it's like, yeah, I get it. You landed the superstar. That doesn't buy you 5 years of irrelevancy as a GM. You gotta go to work, man. It's now or never for the Lakers. We still got LeBron at the end of his prime, and we got a Luca who's barely entering his prime. If you can't do damage in the postseason with those two and at least get to the Western Conference Finals, then you're doing something really wrong. And if you're doing something really wrong, you got to get it right. It's simple as that, right? It's simple as that. And no more excuses, man, because I think Laker fans, we're all fed up. Hey, shout out to my guy David, man, for showing love, gifting $5 memberships, man. And shout out to all the members as well, man. And you guys get priority commenting and more. So again, let me go ahead and roll the credit. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you, David.
I want to thank you for becoming a member. On Detailist channel, we're a family, and together, we win.
Appreciate you, David. Thank you so much, man. Really quick, I want to know, guys, what would you guys have Rob Pelinka do? You guys think it's okay just to sit? Or do you guys think it's time for Robbie P to either get to working, or get to stepping? What do you guys think Laker fans are overreacting over this? Because I don't. We've been very patient with Rob, man. Very patient. Extremely patient, matter of fact. A lot more patient than I can remember with any GMs out there, man. Yeah, thank you so much, David. Appreciate you. Let's see. Hey, Dan, any word on Al Horford? He's still thinking about where he wants to go. Yeah, that's the last word we got on him, is that he's mulling over his offers. He doesn't really have to rush because the market is kind of at a stalemate. It's not like there's a lot more money in one place than the other. He's contemplating retiring, but it's like, bro, one last hurrah with the Lakers would be awesome without Horford. He could also go to Golden State or Denver. He would make them better. He's that kind of a player, even at 39. So, that would be wonderful for him. But again, it's his decision, man. I don't know. We're not doctors. We don't know how his body feels. What up, Mike? He said, man, not going to lie, Dan, the Luca trade was a fluke. If it didn't happen, we would be sitting here with AD, Bron, AR, hoping and wishing for a big and a better role players. Man, it seems to be the tale oldest time, bro. Tale as old as time. And again, I don't think Los Angeles is used to operating that way. The good news, we're in the new ownership, and I think they're going to hire the right people that come in here with a sense of urgency and do the right moves and aren't afraid. And if you make a mistake, you can always correct your mistake. It's not like you can make a mistake and you got to suffer for the next 20 years. No, you might suffer for a year, maybe two max. But if you make a mistake, you can correct that mistake. If you make no mistakes, again, scared money isn't going to make a penny. All right? It's not going to make a penny. And you're not going to win a championship by sitting on your hands and your hands smelling like ass. That's not going to work. You got to get out there and get to work, Rob. We pay you the big bucks so you can type in numbers and crunch the numbers and make it work. Even with the new CBA, you're an agent. Supposedly, when we hired this guy, he was going to be able to work through the new CBA because he's got all this experience and all this and all that. Well, we're waiting, right? Like the gift says, we're waiting, bro. We've been waiting for years. Make it happen. Enough is enough. Laker fans just want to see action. We want to see a roster that we can be very proud to roll out there. Right now, we have a good roster. That's not good enough. We want a great roster, okay? And we can get it. I understand there's some implications and some complications and all these things. But if you're as great as what your paycheck says and you got that extension, make it happen, Captain. Dan, Jerry West pushed every button to sign players. In fact, he swindled Shaq at 3 a.m. Rob is mid. That's not Laker material. Thank you, JB. Thank you. And in reality, I'd be a lot more frustrated had we not traded for Luca. Trading for Luca bought me a little bit of patience. Bought him some time, but he needs to make good on what he said, right? He needs to make good. They've been in so many trade conversations. We haven't had one. The last time the Lakers made a trade, guys, besides the draft day trades, which don't really count, those are for picks. You're really just buying picks. Was when we traded for Vando, D'Lo, and then the last one this season, besides the Luca one, was the DFS one, which, by the way, we lost DFS for nothing, right? So in hindsight, we were probably just as good if we would have stayed with D'Lo because we didn't get far in the playoffs anyways. And we would have had one more draft pick if you were just going to lose him for nothing. We could have just lost D'Lo for nothing, essentially, right? But, again, we did sign DeAndre, so that kind of saved face a little bit. I promise you we'd be a lot more frustrated if DeAndre Ayton buyout didn't happen, right? We'd still be scrapping for the bottom of the barrel with bigs. Appreciate you, Kimiko. Yes, make sure you guys step in tomorrow, guys. We got the California Classic finale between the Lakers and the is it Portland? I think it's Portland. So it's been good. I mean, Bronny looked good. There's been a couple of players that have looked good. You guys are going to want to tap in there. Unfortunately, one player we're looking forward to, Dalton Connect, has not been connecting with our hearts. So that's unfortunate because rookie season, he had way better glimpses. But it's early. And let's see what he does in Las Vegas Summer League, right? Mike Connolly says, appreciate you, bro. He said, last good offseason was after we won in 2020. I actually think that offseason, yeah. I agree with you, but that 21 offseason was an atrocity, right? Losing Alex Caruso was an atrocity, bro. And again, the Lakers just, I don't know, man. And when we first got Rob Pelinka, he came in like a shark. You know, we were calling Rob Pelinka the Robfather. He earned all these nicknames that he threw away. You know what I mean? So it's disappointing to see that Rob, either he has a plan that he's executed in snail pace, or he doesn't have a plan at all. He's just hoping for stuff to fall in his lap. Either way, it's not good, right? But the good news is there is a change, you know, at the top, and I think that's going to trickle down eventually, and we're going to see the aggressive moves happen eventually. JB said, Dan, the Rockets signed DFS to a 4-year, but the last 2 years are non-guaranteed. That was my breaking point with Rob. 3 seconds, gone. Bruh. And that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying, is that there's been potential for so much more with the moves and the acquisitions, and it kind of leaves a lot to be desired. Yes, we have Luca, right? But we still lacking. Even right now, we're lacking. We addressed the starting big. What about the backup? We really trust Jaxson Hayes? Why did we have to overpay just because he's got the same agent as Luca? Are we trying to start a new relationship with that, group management right there that manages players because Rich Paul and Clutch is about to be gone? Like, what is going on, right? But again, don't want to keep it too negative, guys. The good news, yes, we addressed the starting center. The good news also is that Jaxson Hayes, for those of you that are tuning in late, did waive. He waived his implicit no trade clause, so he can be traded at any point. That's good news. That'll give us flexibility for the trade deadline, right? And the good news is that Luca looks like he's going to be getting in shape, and let's see who's going to improve. Is Austin going to take another step forward, right? Like we got a lot to look forward to in spite of still not having a roster that we feel comfortable to go and compete for a true title this year. You know, in spite of not feeling that full confidence, we're going to have flexibility, and in spite of people being skeptical of the assets we have to trade, we have some. They just don't want to either trade them or they don't like what we're getting in return, right? So hopefully they figure that out sooner rather than later. D Free says 2021 was the year that Rob was voted as the best GM for being able to pull in the sixth man of the year and the runner-up sixth man, revamp the roster after the title and get younger 1 month off season. What was the year that we lost Alex Caruso? Because from there it went downhill. Was that 21-22 or is that 22-23? Regardless, from there he hasn't been the same. Since then, since he lost Alex Caruso, the only thing that has redeemed him is the Luca trade. But outside of that, there's been gaps of years missing, of limited to no productivity. And I think that's everybody's complaint right there. Like, dude, you're overdue to get the right roster, just like you did in 2020. It's overdue. 2021, 22 was a Caruso year, though. But 2021 was a great offseason, just got hurt. Yeah, well, that's the season I'm talking about, 21-22. All right, that year was a travesty, and from there it's been downhill with Rob. Let's be honest. I'm not so mad at the Jackson thing. He only got $600,000 more than he would have gotten anyway. That isn't the main reason that we have issues with flexibility. It's all the other stuff compounded. Well, I'm mad at it because motherfucker should have been gone, bro. After the playoffs he had, he deserved only the $600,000, not the millions. To be honest with you, man, we talked about this before we headed into the postseason, bro. We said how Jackson plays in the postseason should determine whether he gets a contract or not and how much he gets paid. He was having a phenomenal regular season towards the end, and then he went into the playoffs, and then he pulled a Harry Houdini and magically disappeared. So I am pissed that we even re-signed him, let alone at the price. At that price is like, oh man, we're doing your agent a favor. I guess that's the agent cut money right there. Right? I don't know what it was, but it's not right. And we did it to appease them. Maybe that'll have good future implications with free agents coming this way. But man, I don't like that stuff, man. He probably needed to get the extra bump in salary in order to waive that no trade clause. Man, we should have waived his ass for real. Well, Marby, the problem is that oh yeah, he's talking with somebody else. All right. Go Lakers. Hey, we still here though. Regardless, we're gonna be supporting, man. We're going to be supporting, and we hope that Rob gets his shit together because you guys know when he comes in with the right mindset and he's focused like he did in the offseason of 2019-2020, when we landed, traded for AD and landed all those great free agents, that was by far his best one, man. His best offseason. And we won a championship that year because of it. And ever since then, it hasn't been the same. So what needs to happen? Sound off in the comment section, guys. Let me know. once this video posts, we're officially going to get off the live again. This video was brought to you guys by Underdog and Prize Picks. Promo code DTLF gets you guys free entries, as well as deposit matches, etc., etc. So tap in, guys. Again, I do appreciate you guys. I'll keep you guys updated and posted. If anything breaks, you know where to find me. If anything worth reporting on, I will be live, guys. Again, thank you guys for reaching out. And you guys have a wonderful evening, all right? We'll talk soon. Go Lakers, baby. See you guys on the next one.